So, okay, the Democrats have Treasury Department blew through the deadline that the Democrats laid down for the legal exercise of their legal right in Congress to see tax returns. Not something they should be doing on a regular basis, but in the context of the President of the United States, who has quite clearly lied about his business interests relative to his role as president. We know, at the very least, he had claimed that he had stopped pursuing a multi-million, $100 million deal in Moscow, I think it was, for a building, and had claimed that he had stopped pursuing that and then hadn't. That in and of itself is a good reason to look at the tax returns. But of course, there's been a lot of reports that he has avoided taxes in the past. I don't know that that's actionable. Maybe he did it 10 years ago as opposed to 7 years ago. And but it's always nice to know that the guy who is president of the United States may have been a complete scofflaw for an extended period of time. But Sarah Sanders has an interesting repose. Is that the word I'm looking for? Response?
Riposte?
Riposte to the request of Democrats to send the tax returns there. Richard Neal from Massachusetts, he's the House and Ways Committee chairman, sent a second letter to the IRS on Saturday in his push to obtain Trump's tax returns after the agency had missed the original deadline. Neal now said that concerns about his request lack merit, and he expects a response from the IRS by 5 p.m. on April 23rd. Please know if you fail to comply, your failure will be interpreted as a denial of my request. Then presumably, I guess, there would be court cases. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I have a feeling it's going to go to the courts, and maybe it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. And maybe Donald Trump has already appointed enough of those justices that they will defer to his authority despite the clear statutory basis for requesting his tax returns. Here is Sarah Sanders with a new argument as to why Congress shouldn't see the tax returns, not quite based in the statutory language.
The president's been clear from the beginning, as long as his taxes are under audit, he's not going to release them. He's also filled out hundreds of pages in financial disclosure.
I know, but will he tell the
IRS? Pause it for 1 second. No one's asking Donald Trump to release his tax returns. No one is asking that at this point. What Congress is asking is a governmental agency to release them as per the statute. See, you see the fine distinction here. Donald Trump thinks it's his IRS as opposed to the U.S. government's IRS. Go back just a little bit here.
Filled out hundreds of pages in financial disclosure.
I know, but will he tell the IRS not to?
But hold on, Chris, this isn't.
Will he tell the IRS not to release them now?
We'll have to see what happens on that front. But the president's been clear. This issue's even been litigated. We went through it in 2016. But one of the biggest things that I think people aren't seeing is the fact that the only reason that the Oversight Committee has the ability to request someone's taxes or for the purpose of determining policy, this has nothing to do with whether or not they're going to determine policy. This is all about political partisanship. This is a dangerous, dangerous road. And frankly, Chris, I don't think Congress, particularly not this group of congressmen and women, are smart enough to look through the thousands of pages that I would assume that President Trump's taxes will be. My guess is most of them don't do their own taxes, and I certainly don't trust them to look through the decades of success that the president has and determine anything. He's filled out hundreds of pages in a financial disclosure form, and I think it is a disgusting overreach that they are making when they're not doing this based on policy, and it puts every American who's filled out tax reform or for tax forms in the past.
This is a yes or no question. Have you filed your
everybody?
Have you filed your taxes yet?
I'm almost finished. I'm in the process.
Oh my God. How quickly can Chris Wallace wants to move to that? Let's end on a jovial note here. That
IRS.
Congress may be not intelligent. That the Congress people may not be intelligent is going to be a tough defense as to why
voters get to decide that.
And apparently, I don't even know why I know this, and I think it's even stupid, and I don't want to repeat it. And I will express it only in the context of, like, I don't know why there's this obligation, but I think it was the New York Times reported that there's like 10 or 11 accountants in Congress, which, who cares? The idea that Donald Trump and Sarah Sanders think that Congress might be too stupid to look at his taxes.
That's just one of those lines that's delivered because they know Trump's going to be like, good job on saying that. That was awesome.
Well, and not just Trump, for that matter.
Oh, yeah.
All the Trumpistas and members of the Republican. I mean, it is well-crafted politics in that respect, but it also should not even be repeated. And by, you just don't answer that question. We don't need to have a Congress full of accountants.
Sick burn, Sarah. Nice job.
Oh, that was good. Good makeup, too.
Call him stupid. Thank you.